Are you sick and tired of wrestlers having garbage indie matches where they do flips and dives and other meaningless stuff?
Are you sick, tired, and frustrated with the matches making any sense?
Are you sick and tired of people booking goofy segments on shows that are supposed to be sports-based? Tony Khan, I'm talking to you, buddy.
Are you sick and tired of the rules not making sense, including the fact the referee's not enforcing them properly?
Are you tired of people reciting scripted, phony verbiage on WWE television? Well, if you're sick and tired of these things, if you like a good wrestling match,
Do you like the wrestling shows or programs, depending on the way that you view them, having logic? Then you have come to the right place.
This is Wrestling and Logic, where we review wrestling on a weekly basis. They don't need all these gimmicks in the...
Where we have an abundance of rants, especially from me. Fuck off! Where's the logic in this?
And we have memorable moments pretty much every week.
You can listen to these podcasts every Saturday morning
On YouTube,
Spotify,
Google Podcasts.
and all other podcast platforms.
This is Wrestling and Logic with your host, Kgabinator.
And his guest host, Joshua James Jenkins, otherwise known as Triple J. And that is why this is called the R&L Podcast.
Hey guys, Kgabinator here, and today we're back for another episode of Wrestling and Logic with my co-host Josh Jenkins. And by the way, if you hear in the intro, are you sick and tired of matches making sense? Josh meant to say, are you sick and tired of the matches not making sense? So if there's any confusion there, we've cleared it up. I'm gonna work on a new intro. I tried to, but then I accidentally messed it up, and now I have to do it all over again, and I don't feel like having to go through that fiasco again, so I'll probably do it at a later date. So this is season 1, episode 7. I took a Vince and wiped my Bruce. Yeah, so that's yeah, you'll see what. So because I took a shit and wiped my ass. Vince and Bruce are substitutes for a shit and ass. So we actually got quite a bit to talk about here. We're gonna talk about the WWE Network being on Peacock from March the 18th, and I said I'd review the Fight Pit match as an extra, but I didn't, and I'm probably a week late by the time you hear this. So we're actually recording this on Wednesday, so I'm already a week late on this review. Should have done it last week. We're gonna review the Fight Pit with Timothy Thatcher versus Tommaso Ciampa, and then a big thing before we get to our Raw and SmackDown reviews is we're gonna preview the Royal Rumble, which we will review on the February 6th, I think, episode of Wrestling and Logic. So you can follow me on my socials. You can follow the You can support the podcast on the links here that it shows here on the graphic. And so obviously you and I, Josh, have heard about the WWE Network moving to Peacock deal. So let me find the
Oh, yes.
article real quick.
Yes, I think it's fair to say that we've both heard about this by now.
Yeah. So this is straight off the WWE's website. So it says here, Peacock to become the exclusive home of WWE Network in the United States. Peacock and WWE today announced a multi-year agreement that gives Peacock exclusive streaming rights to WWE Network in the US. NBC Universal has a long-standing relationship with WWE that began nearly 30 years ago with Monday Night Raw USA. WWE has always tapped into the cultural zeitgeist with spectacular live events and larger-than-life characters, wrestlers, not characters, it should say. And we are thrilled to be the exclusive home for WWE Network and its millions of fans around the country, said Rick Cordella, Executive Vice President and Chief Revenue Officer of Peacock. WWE Network is a transformative addition to the platform and complements Peacock's massive catalog of iconic movies and shows, as well as the best live news and sports from NBC, Universal, and beyond. We are thrilled to further the long-standing and trusted partnership WWE has with Universal, in NBC Universal, said Nick Khan. We've got another Khan. Is this one related to Tony Khan, who the logic of the TNT Championship should be given to? I don't know. Nick Khan, the President and Chief Revenue Officer of WWE. So Peacock is an innovative platform that will, oh geez, this is a long ass article, but long story short, from March 18th, they'll be moving to Peacock for the WWE Network. So if there are any of our audience that lives in the US, good luck with that. I think we can still use the normal WWE Network as it is.
Yes, because that only applies to those in the United States of America. Because the will be taken out of context where else outside of the US of America. So for me in the UK and for you in South Africa, Kgabo, we should be able to watch the WWE Network anytime we want in the way we've basically always have done. So that should not affect us. It should only affect those in the United States of America.
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't know what to say about this. I guess it's a big money move for them. I've heard Vince McMahon is quite the businessman. He may not be the very great booker or modern wrestling mind, and he might hire some really stupid people that stooge for him, like Kevin Dunn, Bruce Prichard, Road Dogg. Yeah, but he's a good businessman at least, and he's a good promoter from what I've heard. This must have been a huge successful move for Peacock. I'm sure they'll be happy to have WWE Network on their service. I wonder how the whole thing for our United States audience will work. Maybe one of you can tell us how it goes, and then we could see. But Unless there's anything that Josh Jenkins here wants to say, I don't really have anything else.
Okay. Okay, I don't know if this is 1 billion per year for 5 years, or if this is 1 billion in total, which equates to 200 million per year over the next 5 years per this deal. But either way, I feel that the WWE Network itself is definitely worth that price, if not more. But that's just from my opinion. Somebody else might say it's not, and it should be sold for way less than that. I'm not going to argue about that. But I will say that it's, for me personally, I think it's worth that price, if not more, because it's not only worth it for, well, look, to me, I use the network primarily to watch shows from the 90s or the early, what have you, because they have a large library of the history in there, and I think that's of great value. I don't know if it's worth it for the live shows that they produce nowadays, but yeah, for the old shows that they got collected on there over the past like 50 years or so, I think it's absolutely worth that price. Yeah, and also this move to Peacock will also possibly gain a load of new viewers to the service, because at the time it was like maybe like 1.5 or 2 million worldwide or something users of the network, but now because they've gone to Peacock, they can double, if not triple, or if not 4 times that, amount of people using the WWE Network now. Apparently, it's going to be about £5 on the Peacock app now, but if you want to do it without the adverts, which is how I would do it, because fuck the adverts, it would be twice that at 10. So you're not paying any less or any more really for the network here, as we have been since 2013, I think. Well, technically in the UK it came in 2014, I believe. So yeah.
I only started hearing about it in 2014. Apparently, WrestleMania 29 was one of the first shows to be on the WWE Network.
It might have been. I remember watching the pre-show on YouTube or something, and then I watched the pay-per-view on Sky Sports Box. But I don't know. Maybe for those in the US when the network first got introduced, maybe WrestleMania 29 was available then, but for us in the UK or for you in South Africa, the network didn't really come to existence until 2014. So, do I have anything else to say? Vince has always been about the powerful money moves. I think that's what he's going to be remembered for. Definitely, especially from me, because he always likes to make sure he gets the biggest deals possible for the company. And this is one of the deals. Especially because it's going to last for the next 5 years, and it's probably beneficial in the long term that they've moved to Peacock than if they were to have kept it the way that they were going. So we'll see how it goes, but yeah.
Okay, So that's all we have to say about this new deal. Now we're going to move on to the fight pit match with Timothy Thatcher versus Tommaso Ciampa. That was on NXT last week. Oh boy, do I have a lot of...
It's all yours because...
Boy, do
Yes,
I
I'm
have
sure you
a
do.
lot to say about this.
Well, this is entirely you reviewing this match because I haven't seen a single second of it.
Well,
So, over to you, Kgabo.
so there are actually some other stuff that I saw on NXT. So I think the first thing was like Beth Phoenix was actually at the NXT taping. Yeah.
She was actually there?
Yes, she was there.
Holy shit. So she wasn't just a disembodied now?
No. She was
because she's been a... Yeah.
She was actually there to introduce the women's tag team classic. It was a beautiful presentation. If only it was a singles tournament, I would have cared a bit more about it. Yeah.
They don't have... Look, they don't actually have teams to make this work. What I'm assuming they've done here, and I don't know if this is the case, but I'm going to assume this, is that they've paired up two random singles wrestlers together just to say, okay, their team in this tournament,
Yeah.
and that is going to be that.
That's pretty much what they've done.
Oh, that's bullshit.
And some of them actually have matches on 205 Live, and nobody watches 205 Live.
Since when were the women wrestling matches on 205 Live?
Since last week.
Oh, that is bullshit.
Well, they're not really over 205 pounds, so I guess they count as cruiserweights.
No. Yeah, but they're not competing in the division against the men, so why are they there?
Well, do you have their tag team classic match? Cause I don't know what's going on.
Have it on NXT then, because that is the place that it's supposed to be happening on, right?
Yeah.
So hello, like you don't expand it to be had on a different show that is being advertised to not be on.
Oh no.
Oh Jesus, this company can.
Oh boy, it was a great presentation, but yeah. And then there was another segment that I saw, and I was fast forwarding, but I was just like, I have to watch this. I want to see Bronson. It was Bronson Reed versus Tyler, two guys that I think have potential. They had a match. First of all, Malcolm Bivens was in the back, being interviewed by somebody. I don't remember who it was, and he was talking about how he was planning something with General Manager William Regal, and then Tyler Ross came out of William Regal's room, and then he told Malcolm Bivens that he's gonna have a match with Bronson Reed, and Malcolm Bivens wasn't too happy about that. So then later they had their match. They were having their match, and Bronson Reed did some nice stuff. He looked dominant. He showed some potential, and he beat Tyler Rush, which I don't really have a problem with. And after the match, Malcolm Bivens, I thought would be hot at Tyler Rush for losing, but he was like, "No, man, yeah, you did good. You'll do better next time," which I don't think you would do for a heel. Um, yeah, that was a good segment, but that's not what you guys came here to hear from me. So now you're going to hear what you came for, and that's a fight pit match. With hmm
Is Malcolm Bivens the manager for that Indus-Shire Indian tag team?
I don't know. He used to, but now I guess they're on that new Indian show, Superstar Spectacle or whatever it's called.
Which actually happened this
Yesterday.
past Tuesday, which I think was yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I don't really. Which what?
Which I haven't seen yet, but I will at some point.
I don't really plan on seeing it because we've got the Royal Rumble coming anyway. So, oh boy. So we have the fight pit match with Tommaso, Timothy Thatcher versus Tommaso Ciampa. This was great. And before they had a weigh-in, and then they stared at each other, and then I think it was Timothy Thatcher who pushed Tommaso Ciampa, and then they were all starting to get into a brawl, and then people were pulling them apart, and it looked so great, and it hyped me up. And then now we finally get to that match, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be great. And then they had they were having their match, and they were just beating the fuck out of each other. And Timothy Thatcher had great facials, like it looked like he wanted to kill Tommaso Ciampa. It was two grown men having a fight. They both look like they want to kill each other, and this is great. And Vic Joseph on commentary said that this is the match that separates the men from the boys, and I totally agree with him there. That's a perfect analogy for that. It show on one side of the NXT fence you have crummy sissy ass girl wrestling. That's all there is since Rhea Ripley's gone, and she's going to the main roster, and or you have that all garbage indie matches. Like there's a new garbage indie tag team called MSK. They were the Rascals in Impact. Maybe they were in Impact for a reason. Yeah. That's where all the garbage indie guys belong. They don't belong on a major stage. And then you have those two, and then on the other side you have great stuff like this. Like why can't it just be this and less of that? I don't know, maybe because Road Dogg is booking. I mean, yeah, that little dweeb. And this fight pit match was great, and it made me have hope for, that people can have really good matches when they want to. Like, oh. Yeah, so I don't really have a description. I think you just need to watch that because I think you'll enjoy it. You need to watch it eventually. So wrestling, I will give 10, and logic, I will give 10 because it was just that good. You have anything to say? by the way, if I didn't like Tommaso Ciampa before, I like him a lot now. And he was selling like crazy. And jeez, man, it was so good. Anyway.
I was just trying to say that I'm quite surprised giving this a 10 out of 10 on scales, because I don't think that is ever been possible to give any match that rating. But perhaps to you can give a match that rating.
Yeah.
But I never have. I never have, and I probably never will give a match a full 10 to 10 for logic and the match quality and all that. But for you, 1 out of 10, then you are absolutely in your right to do that. Just like a match would be in high regards with me, based on what you're saying about it. So yeah, if it's and I'll say this now: if it's a match that I absolutely need to see, I would have already seen it by now, Kgabo. That's what I'll say about that. But I probably will watch it at some point. Only time will tell. Anyway, if not anything else you want to say about that, then I think we should move on to what's next.
Yeah. So we are going to now preview the Royal Rumble. I don't know if every match is booked yet. I don't know the full card.
Yeah. I don't think they've advertised the full match card for it. And I'm confident enough, Kgabo, to actually tell you what the full match card is, because even I'm not very certain about it. I know at least half of the match card. Because what they usually do is they usually tell us what the full match card is, like the day or maybe 2 days before the actual pay-per-view happens. Because, SmackDown still hasn't technically happened yet. So they'll probably have another match or two announced for that show coming up this Friday night / Saturday morning.
Yeah.
But what we'll do is we will go over the matches that have been announced so far.
Yeah, let me actually try to find the card. We actually have an incoming rant from Josh Jenkins, maybe even from me. I'll put some input in there about how much he hates battle royals and how they don't make sense to him. So while I am finding the clip, let's just hold on.
I don't know how much of a rant you're going to get from me here, Kgabo, but I can tell you this now: if they mess up the Royal at the end of next weekend, you're going to get one hell of a rant from me on the next episode that we do. Because that at that point in time will be just adding on more fuel to this fire.
Okay, so I guess going to get. You can.
You're probably going.
I'm probably going to get.
You're probably going to get some rant out of me today, but not probably in full.
Okay. Well, let me see.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
I'm in quite a good happy mood right now, so I'm not really in the mood to freaking, go all out here. So.
Okay. So We're gonna have the Royal Rumble uh, on Sunday, and then the card we are going to have the Men's Rumble and the name.
All right then. So up next for the Royal Rumble match card for the 2021 Royal Rumble pay-per-view, to be precise about it, because that is the year that we are in, being 2021, and this is the first pay-per-view that is happening for the year 2021 in WWE. So, up next, we have Kevin Owens, the challenger, going up against Roman Reigns, the champion, in a last man standing match for the Universal Championship. Now, this match doesn't really make much of any sense, primarily because this is the third match now between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. They had the TLC match, the TLC pay-per-view in December. They had the Steel Cage match for the Universal Championship on SmackDown on Christmas Day. And then, just when we all thought they were finished with, Adam Pearce was thrown into a gauntlet match on SmackDown last week, where he actually won the damn thing, and he was then crowned the new number one contender to face Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble for the Universal Championship. Just to then have Adam Pearce the following week come out and say that he's declining to face Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble for the Universal Championship because he's going to hand over his championship shot over to Kevin Owens instead. Yeah. So the pretend general manager, who has no authority to change any of the matches or, for the matter, to even make any matches officially happen in the company, then somehow managed to change the match that was happening at the Royal Rumble to now not have it be him, but instead have it be Kevin Owens as the challenger. And that is basically now what is happening. So instead of actually having a logical reason as to why Kevin Owens is now going up against Roman Reigns for the third time in a row here, they had Adam Pearce, the pretend general manager, force Kevin Owens into the championship scene again, or because Adam Pearce didn't want to have the match himself. Yeah. And also, Adam Pearce has never been an official wrestler in WWE, so it never made any sense for him to even be the challenger going up against Roman Reigns to begin with.
including the fact that it never made any sense for Adam Pearce to be in the gauntlet match to begin with either. So yeah, that basically made the entire gauntlet match a complete waste of time, including wasting the time of building Shinsuke Nakamura up as a face, because technically now that match basically never happened. So yeah, you can basically skip that week of SmackDown because it basically never happened. Yeah, Kgabo was expecting a sort of rant about this, but I can't imitate what I originally said about this, so this is the best that you're going to get from me at this time. So yeah, because this is the re-recording of this, so yeah, this is the best you're going to get out of me right now. I'm saying this cool, calm and collected, unlike I was originally when I was basically ranting about it. So yeah, but this does give me flashbacks to 2017, where Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens was basically happening on a weekly basis for the Universal Championship, except this time the roles have been reversed. Back then, Kevin Owens was the heel, and he was the champion going into the Royal Rumble match against Roman Reigns. And this time, 4 years later, Roman Reigns is the heel, even though he's not. And he's the Universal Champion going against Kevin Owens, the challenger. So yeah, isn't that a fascinating twist on this? So yeah, I'm against this match happening. This match has been basically forced to happen because the pretend general manager decided to not go through with the match. Even if he did go through with it, it wouldn't have made sense anyway. So either scenario of Adam Pearce going up against Roman Reigns or Kevin Owens going up against Roman Reigns, neither one makes sense. So either way, this match is bullshit, no matter which way you want to look at it. So yeah, at the Royal Rumble, Kevin Owens, the challenger, going up against Roman Reigns, the champion, in a last man standing match for the Universal Championship. In a match that I don't give a single shit about because I have not been given any reason to give a shit about it. So, yeah, that is that. So yeah, over to you now, Kgabo, for the rest of this episode.
Oh.
Like, what is wrong with this thing? And then we can't say it again now. So this stupid OBS, it crashed. It stopped recording while we were. So we had the men's Royal Rumble with all the names that I read in the women's Royal Rumble, and the Universal Championship match, which Josh made a whole rant about, but now it's gone down the drain because this fucking OBS is piece of shit and it stopped working. I don't know why. So now we're on Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. And now I've said that I just hope that they make the right decision and they don't, because Goldberg has had this trend of beating every champion he's challenged. He buried Kevin Owens in 2017. He buried The Fiend last year when he challenged The Fiend. I never liked The Fiend to begin with. And now he's going to bury Drew McIntyre, which hopefully doesn't happen. Or it would be really stupid if they did. It would make a lot of people mad. But it's Vince, so we don't know. We don't know what they're gonna do. So, what do you think?
Is it safe for me to speak?
Yes.
Okay, at least you heard my rant, so at least somebody heard it.
Yeah.
Okay, Drew McIntyre and Goldberg. I'm not happy about this at all. This match shouldn't even be happening. Goldberg should have retired years ago. What did he do to earn his shot at getting this championship match right now? What did he do? Nothing. He beat nobody. He just came back, stared Drew down in the face, told Drew, you have been disrespecting also. Now I'm here to kick your ass because of, even though it was actually Randy Orton doing that, you fucking dumb shit. And now we get McIntyre based on something that Randy Orton was doing. Fucking look. As long as Drew wins, then fucking whatever. Like, if Goldberg wins, Goldberg wins, I'm gonna punch a hole through this wall all the way to fucking China.
Yeah, probably me too if they do that. We'll both see it. It'll be fucking stupid if they beat Drew McIntyre and take that belt off of him. Goldberg's never won the WWE Championship, so they could use that as an excuse to take it off of Drew McIntyre. And people in WWE are saying no to this. So like, your fans, you're fucking stupid. Why are you booking this? It's time to let the new stars get over instead of bringing this old man back and beating everybody. I think Booker T said Goldberg needs to go, and I forgot who else. I'm not sure. That's the first useful thing that he's ever said. But that's Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg. By the way, and I forgot to say this. Apparently, this garbage rapper named Bad Bunny is gonna perform at the Royal Rumble. His new single is called Booker T. I don't know if it's a single or an album. I don't really care, because nobody cares about that.
I have got no idea who this guy is. No idea.
Yeah,
and yet he's going. And yet apparently he has enough clearance to appear on the pay-per-view to do a fucking tribute song to Booker T, who has nothing to do with what WWE is doing now. Booker T isn't a wrestler anymore there. He's not a commentator anymore. He has nothing to do with the current day product, and yet Vince is going to allow some random ass rapper who nobody knows to do a tribute song to a fucking paper that Booker T has got nothing to do. Like, why couldn't they have just done this on fucking YouTube or some shit? Like, why are they wasting time doing it on here for?
Yeah, and they know people like these garbage rappers, and I hate rap, hip hop, whatever it is. I hate that stuff. I can't stand it. It's all the same. Guys are talking about shooting each other and fucking one another's girlfriends, and it's just all kinds of
and
yeah.
And drugs.
And drugs. And rape and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't understand that genre. I don't.
We don't have to listen to it, so.
Yeah. So Bad Bunny can piss off for all we care. And then we have the Women's Tag Team Championship. The champions, Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Yeah, I don't think anybody cares about this. I'm gonna watch this live, so I won't be able to fast forward. And I don't know if this makes any sense because we haven't seen it. And yeah, that's.
Alright, so you're asking if this makes sense. Okay. One, yes it does, and at the same time, no it doesn't. Why? Well, simply because, number one, Charlotte came back and was instantly placed in a tag team with Asuka, and she won the women's tag titles on her first match back from getting a boob reduction, right? It's not like she needed it, right? And then and look, this is basically what you would call the rematch clause, okay? The former champions wanting to get the titles back again, so they're cashing in their rematch. Exist anymore because Vince McMahon, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon came out on an episode of Raw in December 2008 it was, and they stated, okay, WWE audience, the rematch clause doesn't exist anymore, woohoo, and yet here we are having exactly that 3 years later. So even then, this match makes zero sense, actually, thinking about it. Zero. And also, I guarantee you, Kgabo, that Shayna and Nia are going to win because this is going to start up the build-up between Charlotte and Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship that is going to lead to WrestleMania. Because Charlotte and Asuka are either going to lose them here or lose them at the the Fastlane pay-per-view in February, right? Because they're going to lose them sometime before WrestleMania because they're going to face each other again at WrestleMania most likely. So another waste and another short reign for the women's tag teams championship, especially with two fucking players, right, who were paired up at complete randomness for this thing that they shouldn't even be having. And also Asuka is the fucking singles Raw Women's Champion. Why is she in a tag team for at all to begin with?
Yeah, she should be having single matches.
Defending these singles. Exactly. Why is she in a team with? Oh, Jesus Christ!
Just these fucking comedy writers, they're in over the heads and they ought to be fired. And Bruce. But that's probably not going to happen because Vince loves him so much.
Yeah, because Bruce is an ass sucker. He's not an ass kisser. No, he sucks that shit out of Vince's ass. Personally. Yeah. Yes, and Kgabo is doing that impression because KFC Colonel does Bruce Prichard.
Yes.
Anyway, do we have any other matches, Kgabo?
Yeah, it's just some predictions. I read this off of CBS Sports. their website, and that's pretty much. We actually.
Oh, yes, we do. Wait, hang on. Didn't Matt Riddle win a gauntlet match this last week on the Hurt Business, and now he's going to face Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship?
Oh, I haven't seen that match yet, so now you spoiled it for me.
I haven't seen it either, but I just read the results. So
okay.
So I know what happened.
So you at least somewhat know what's going on.
Well, yeah, based on the results, but I haven't seen the actual show. But I can do by tomorrow if I absolutely need to, which I don't really need to. We'll see. But yeah, I believe that Matt Riddle is facing Bobby Lashley at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view for the US Championship. I believe.
Okay. So we're actually taping this part of the program on Wednesday, the 27th. We usually record on Thursday, but I have a feeling the reviews will take quite a while. So recorded this little bit of the podcast just to be sure that the reviews don't take too long, because it's like 6 in the evening and I have to eat now. So yeah, I'll probably edit in the reviews when we do them tomorrow. So yeah, that'll be it for now. So Josh Jenkins, shall we do the reviews now?
If you're wanting to, then absolutely we shall.
Have you at least read the results or seen the highlights or?
I basically know what happened, but no, I haven't seen a single second of the show. No.
Okay, well, I guess that's good. So we have.
Which me saying that might disappoint some people, because they're expecting us to do a actual in-depth review about these shows, but I at least know what happened, so there's that.
Alright, so we have SmackDown in the Thunderdome, where it usually is on Friday the 22nd of January 2021. Well, Saturday 23rd of January 2021, depending where you live. For me in South Africa and Josh in Wales, it's Saturday the 23rd, very early in the morning. So we have another video package of highlighting pretty much all the build up to this SmackDown that happened last week. This comes out on Saturday, so this is there would have been another SmackDown. This was last week's SmackDown, the 22nd of January. So we're a bit late, but it's fine. So it's highlighting everything that happened up to this episode that we're reviewing, with the stuff with Roman Reigns and Adam Pearce, and yeah, it's a whole fiasco. Me and Josh, we don't like this, even though I found out that Adam Pearce was actually quite a good wrestler. He was a 5-time NWA champion. I would have liked to see what he could have done with Roman Reigns at the Rumble, but now it's Kevin Owens, so that stuff has been made pointless. But it was a good package with nice dramatic music, and that was the video package. And then Michael Cole introduced us to the show, and then Roman Reigns, who's the Universal Champion, he came out. And then Josh Jenkins doing his gesture. So Roman Reigns is announced to versus Kevin Owens is announced to be an official match at the Royal Rumble. And then there was a small snippet that I clipped and I put on the Discord, Wrestling and Logic Discord, which you can join in the description. It's right here on this graphic. You can go and join there and chat with us. So then in that clip that I recorded, it said, it took my health being at risk in a pandemic to keep me out of this ring. So I don't want to hear from anybody ever that I miss an appearance. And that is why I am who I am. So I was wondering what you, Josh Jenkins, would think about that. You want to say real quick?
That's a lame ass excuse for him being who he was to now suddenly being who he is now. Fuck off.
Yeah. I just can't help but laugh. And I'm not knocking you, Josh, but it's yeah. Anyway, Roman is blistering Pierce for running away from him and replacing himself with Kevin Owens, just mocking him and verbally destroying him. And Roman's going like, oh, he's mocking Adam Pearce like, oh, my arm hurts, my shoulder hurts, my knee hurts, and he's mocking Adam Pearce, and he said he called him a puss. He didn't call him a pussy because it's PG TV. Yeah, and then the whole thing fell apart, and Adam Pearce came out saying, okay, that's enough. Let's stop. And then he came in the ring and cut a promo on Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. And then Paulie challenged Adam Pearce to a match later that night. And then I was like, not even 15 minutes, and they've already shit the bed. What do you think about this?
I'm against it, obviously.
As if I haven't noticed already.
Yeah. Look. This shouldn't really be happening. So look. What legitimately do you want me to say that you haven't heard me say already about this?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
And
now,
if you really want to know what my thoughts are about this, you can just listen back to what I said earlier. With the Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns rivalry rant that I gave early on.
Okay, which I will edit in because this OBS is a piece of shit and it stopped recording halfway through the first part that we recorded yesterday. 28 minutes in, it stopped recording for some reason. I don't know what happened. So now we have the first match, the Women's Tag Team Champions Charlotte Flair and the Raw Women's Champion Asuka versus the Riot Squad, consisting of Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan with Billie Kay. I don't know why she's there, to be honest. And Charlotte hit her natural selection for the win and blah blah blah. And then we get shown an Instagram post from Bianca Belair of her training for the obstacle course later tonight. I said that this could end up being worse than late dinner debonair, but it actually wasn't. There was something though on Raw that was worse than late dinner debonair. Yeah, you'll see soon. And then we get shown another commercial for the Royal Rumble, and you know what's gonna happen with the Royal Rumble. We're gonna review it and give our takes on it. And then Daniel Bryan came. By the way, why are the women's tag team championships still a thing? Really, from what I've seen, they were only made for Sasha Banks and Bayley to make them look good. That's a vibe that I'm getting from this.
Yeah, Sasha and Bayley did heavily request that these championships were championship, because technically it's one championship with two. Anyway, but yeah, they did request to have them. But ever since they lost them in like a month,
It's gone down.
Well, yeah, but look, they ever since they brought in this tag team championship for the women, they've basically treated it as an actual championship for the women to compete over, in tag team forms.
Yeah.
And I don't see the point of it, because they don't actually have enough women to make this
make any legitimate female tag teams. And just like there shouldn't be
I can't even count like one or even two tag teams that they even have that are legitimate tag teams for the women.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be having a women's tag team tournament on NXT either. They should be having a singles female tournament like the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah, but oh well.
Yeah, but that's what this tag team bullshit is what we've got here.
Oh, Billie Kay, she's been looking for a job for the past few weeks now, because she keeps giving her CV out to everybody in sight.
Oh, jeez.
When technically she already has a fucking job.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. She's already got a job, so why is she looking for one?
Fuck knows.
Yeah. And now there's Daniel Bryan. He's in the ring, and he came out and cut a promo about the upcoming Royal Rumble, but he's reciting bullshit that nobody would say or believe. And then last week Cesaro came out, and I was like, is he a heel or a babyface? Last week he said that if he wins the Royal Rumble, he will challenge Roman Reigns and avenge his friend / tag team partner Shinsuke Nakamura, who's now being pushed as a babyface. So he was talking like a babyface last week. Now he's cutting a heel promo about how Daniel Bryan will not win the match, and instead he will win the match, Cesaro. And then he's issued an open challenge, and Dolph Ziggler immediately came out. I don't know the believability of this segment. Like, how can you just immediately come out after somebody opens and after somebody issues an open challenge? He should be like, I'm issuing an open challenge, and then I was like, oh shit, I gotta go and get my opportunity, and then take a few seconds and then come out. So that was phony. So Dolph Ziggler, hold on. So Dolph Ziggler came out and he cut a promo. And don't worry, nothing mechanical happened. It's just something that I had to make go away. So he cut a promo. I can't remember about what because I didn't take notes on exactly what he said.
It should have been me.
Yeah. So we came back from the break into Cesaro versus Dolph Ziggler. This was an okay match. Both guys did some good shit. Cesaro is great. I actually really like him now. And Ziggler isn't too bad either. And Cesaro hit his neutralizer for the win. So actually, I was too grateful for this match. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I've been giving way too many matches 10 out of 10. So I'll take it down a notch and maybe give wrestling a 9 and logic maybe a 7. I don't know. Yeah. So what do you think about this?
I've always liked Cesaro. I've always liked Dolph Ziggler. It's just over the past few years they haven't exactly been booked to the best of their ability. And Dolph Ziggler, especially in Dolph Ziggler, his credibility has dropped dramatically over the past few years with how shit he has been booked to look.
Yeah, and he's a former world champion. I don't know why you would treat a former world champion like that.
He was barely even a world champion at that though, Kgabo. Like, he barely even held it for any amount of actual time. But you can...
Had they booked him seriously, he would be a world champion material by now.
Yeah, but that...
They've been booking him like shit for his whole career ever since Vince Russo gave him that bad Spirit Squad gimmick, and then he became Dolph Ziggler, and they tried to give him a serious push, and they started booking him badly again.
Yeah, well, if it wasn't for Jack Swagger injuring Dolph Ziggler back in 2013 before that ladder match for the world title, then who knows what could have happened with Dolph Ziggler, because Vince saw Dolph as injury prone after that happened.
Was that the only injury he's had? Or was that, did he have a series of injuries before that, or was that the first one that Vince saw?
I have no idea. I don't remember Dolph having any injuries before that happened.
Well, then how can you consider someone injury prone if they only take one injury?
I don't know. This is Vince McMahon we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Kgabo. Yeah. Dolph basically took a kick to the head, and Vince said, "Okay, I'm now done with you as a world champion."
That's crazy.
That's what happened, though, Kgabo. That is exactly what happened.
You know, Vince, there are times where I praise him for certain things, and just times where I think he's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, back to SmackDown here, for God's sake.
Thank you for that segue. Now we have the third match, Sasha Banks versus Reginald, Somalia Reginald. Reginald, I found out, is his actual name now. That's Carmella's male stooge from last week. So now I don't have to call him a stooge anymore. I can call him Somali. So Sasha Banks, the SmackDown Women's Champion, comes out, and then Reginald, accompanied by his boss Carmella, comes out, and he's surprisingly confident. The bell rings and the match starts. Reginald offered Sasha a rose. She slapped Reggie, and I fast forward. Any thoughts about that before we move on? Yeah. So we are in the back. I like Sasha. I don't like to bury Sasha. I'm not knocking Sasha Banks, but it's just that they've got nothing for her. They've got no legitimate competition for her. This is the best they have for her, then it's quite sad.
Look, intergender wrestling should never happen.
Yes, no matter which company you
Never.
do it in on the Indies and AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor, wherever. I don't want to see a single intergender unless it's Rhea Ripley just beating the shit out of some job guy on. I'd have him beat Chuck Taylor from AEW. That's the only intergender wrestling that I'm interested in, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the men should wrestle the men and the women should wrestle the women. It's, quite simple. Yeah. So, SmackDown.
Yes. We're in the back with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. And then I don't know if I described this well, but Roman Reigns is blistering Paulie for challenging Adam Pearce to a match, and I don't blame him. Why? Okay, and he's telling him to be a man, Roman to Paulie. So now we have the fourth match. An Intercontinental Championship match with Big E, who's the champion, versus Apollo Crews. I like this match. It was okay. And by the way, Sami Zayn, the whole time he handcuffed, since the women's tag team match, he handcuffed himself to the barricade. I was like, I was just like, okay, we can just ignore him. And they have B and Apollo have a good match, and then Sami Zayn unhandcuffed himself after standing there for halfway through the program. He came in and gave Apollo Crews a hell of a kick and caused a DQ, and I was like, why? What did they need to do that? And so wrestling, I gave 9, logic 2, because they didn't need to have Sami Zayn interfere. I don't know why. I like Sami Zayn, but I don't like this gimmick that they've given him. I just want him to be Sami Zayn and have Sami Zayn matches. He does well with what he's given. I like the Survivor Series match he had with Bobby Lashley, where he was acting like a chicken shit heel. He was doing a bit too well for my liking, but he made do with what he was given. He made chicken soup out of chicken shit. But I don't like this version of Sami Zayn. I want to see the Sami Zayn that we saw in NXT. So what do you think?
Absolutely, I absolutely want to see Sami Zayn that we all know and love again.
Yes.
But yeah, for the time being, this is the version that we are getting of him. The exact same sequence of events could have happened with or without Sami Zayn being handcuffed to the barricade or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
He still could have come down and caused the DQ, even without having to stand there.
I wasn't saying he couldn't, but I just didn't agree that he did.
Yeah. I know. But this version of Sami Zayn is still not done with the Intercontinental Championship, and he, for whatever reason, he feels he got screwed out of the Intercontinental Championship. So now he's on the hunt to get it back. So, and also he doesn't want Apollo Crews to be the new champion because Sami Zayn wants to be the one to take it personally away from Big E, who took it away from him to begin with. So he interfered to make sure Apollo couldn't win, even though I think Big E was about to win anyway. I think.
And Big E is good too. He's really good, actually.
Yeah, Big E should have been pushed as a singles guy like at least 2 or so years ago. But anyway, yeah, so Sami Zayn now is wanting to get another shot at the Intercontinental Championship. So now at the Royal Rumble, I'm now expecting, because of this, to have a triple threat match between Sami Zayn, Apollo Crews, and Big E for the Intercontinental Championship. Now,
the thing is, what has Apollo done to get in that match that you're mentioning?
Well, he got screwed out of the match he just had now. So hang on. So Apollo will complain about the match not being fair. So he'll politic his way into another shot, just like Sami Zayn is, and that'll be that.
Okay, I guess.
Big E will walk out the winner because he basically has to. Otherwise, it won't make any sense. Otherwise, not that it makes sense anyway. But yeah. So yeah, I'm expecting that triple threat match to be announced sometime tomorrow night on SmackDown. So yeah.
So now Kevin Owens is sitting in his car. He cut a promo about Roman Reigns pulled some strings to keep him out of the arena. He was politicked out of the arena. He said that he will deal with Roman once and for all at the Royal Rumble. He also said that he refused to quit because he doesn't want to let his family down. And it was okay. It was a okay babyface promo. It didn't sound that scripted. It was alright. And then the Street Profits were in the back, and they confronted Sonya Deville with a whole bag of gifts, whole hamper of gifts with fruit and sweets and all that stuff. And they were celebrating her becoming an official, because he says she's not really a general manager and a official, but she was a few months ago going out and cutting heel promos, but now she's just a general manager. So what sense does that make to just have her come back and be a general manager? She should be going out there and cutting more promos and beating job girls and getting noticed so that here's your next challenger for Sasha Banks. Yeah. And so I fast forwarded because I just didn't care, but I stopped when Sonya Deville started talking. She said that the Street Profits need to hang around and hype up SmackDown and take a break while the new tag teams try to get over. I don't know what new tag team she's talking about, but okay, why isn't she telling Charlotte to do the same thing with the women? But she's telling the former tag team champions to sit back and let others get over. What do you think about this?
Who are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions?
Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode.
Really?
Yeah. I think you actually ranted about them winning the tag team championships. It was like 3 weeks ago or something.
Oh, I don't remember.
Or 2.
None of this is worth remembering because this is all just a load of bullshit anyway. Well, that makes Dolph Ziggler fucking accepting the open challenger against Cesaro even fucking worse.
He's a champion and he lost, which you don't like.
Yeah, and also, this is worse in this case because he's a tag team champion. So why is he wrestling a singles match for when he should be in the tag team scene, wrestling tag teams in tag team matches, not singles matches?
Yeah. Okay, good. It's still recording. So, guess what happened next?
Just tell me.
The segment we've all been waiting for. The obstacle course challenge. The ultimate obstacle course challenge with Bayley and Bianca Belair. And I'm like, what is this, 2010 NXT? And then Michael Cole was on the stage introducing the athletes. Bianca Belair came out, followed by Bayley, who, according to Michael Cole, is the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion, like 350 days or something as champion. I can't remember.
You remember when Charlotte basically interrupted that reign for like 5 days?
Yeah.
For fuck's sake. Like, if Charlotte never did that, Bayley would have been the champion for what, 500 or so days?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Fuck Charlotte, man.
It's done. Okay. Michael Cole tried to say something, but then Bayley grabbed the microphone from him and kindly told him to fuck off. And I was like, at the time, Josh, I know this makes sense for Bianca Belair's character, but it's goofy and silly. And then she got they had Chad Gable, a premier athlete who should be working at a high level and in the upper mid card, and they've got him involved in this AEW style comedy bullshit. So then the Bayley ran.
Chad Gable should be the one who's competing for the Intercontinental Championship, for example.
Yeah. Bayley ran the obstacle course in 1:12 seconds before she got her turn.
Ran the obstacle course. Yeah, ran the obstacle course. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And she actually cheated. She ran around the part where you have to climb. I actually forgot to describe this. So, on the stage, you have to push this big wheel down the ramp, and then you have to go to your right, and then there's these walls that it's got a rope in the middle, and you have to climb up each of them. And then I forgot what was by the back. No, that was on the other side. On the back, before you get to that side, I forgot what was there.
The things you had to jump over.
Oh yeah, the hurdles.
Yeah.
And then you have to carry. Bayley carried Kgabo until the end, and then at the end she had to throw a basketball into the hoop. So now it's Bianca. Before she gets her turn, the course is customized to be harder for Bianca Belair because it's Bayley's course and she planned this out. So then the Bianca Belair ran the course when she got to the point where she had to fireman's carry Kgabo, but then they replaced him with Otis. And I'm like, why this is like dinner debonair type of comedy garbage. So, and looking back at it, it's not as Raw made this the best segment on either show. And then Belair, unbelievably, she actually beat Bayley 17 seconds ahead. And then, of course, Bayley got hot and attacked Bianca Belair. Then she shot Bianca off into the basketball hoop, and I think she hit her knee. This was goofy and it sucked. However, performance I will give a 5, and logic I'll give an 8, because according to you, Josh, this made sense for Bianca Belair's character, you know, because she's the fastest, the strongest, the best, etc. So what do you think of this?
Well, all of that was on full display here, you know, her being the fastest and the strongest and the whatever else is.
Yes.
Personally, I don't really give a shit about all that, because this is look, this isn't really the way that I would be having her show herself to be all of that. This isn't the best way to show the audience her being the strongest and the fastest and the whatever the fuck else is. I would mainly have her show that in the ring, in her performance wrestling.
Yes.
That is how I would do that. Like running the ropes, for example, she could do that the fastest, or like lifting somebody for a suplex and holding them up.
She's strong as
strongest. Fuck. You know, like simple wrestling, psychological stuff like that to show those character traits off. You know, you don't need to actually have a obstacle course to literally show her being the fastest and the strongest and the sporty-est, you know, the fucking basketball slam dunk. Even though this stuff makes sense to Bianca Belair's character, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm on board with this being done with her.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I'll say about that. And Bayley played the heel quite fine here.
Yeah.
She switched it around.
Don't say she played heel. She's not playing heel. She is a heel.
Yeah, okay. She switched she switched Kgabo around to being to Otis to try and slow down Bianca, but Bianca proved to be more faster and stronger because of the extra weight that was on her shoulders. Oh, when the weight of the world is on your shoulders.
Yeah. Do you still
I will
listen to the?
hold you. I will hold you.
Do you
I still listen to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have Dominic and Rey Mysterio in the back having a stagey, scripted, phony conversation about the match that Dominic is about to have after the break. And then after the break, Dominic Mysterio versus Baron Corbin. Again, I refuse to refer to him as King Corbin. And I did actually watch this. I didn't take any notes on it because I don't care. And then I said that Corbin hit End of Days for the win, and Wrestling got a 6. Logic 1, because I don't understand why they're fighting, why they're mad at each other. They're just out there fighting each other. And now we have our main event, Adam Pearce versus Paul Heyman. And the commentators are laughing at this, and I don't blame them because this is stupid. Paul Heyman was mocking Adam Pearce, and then he said, cards subject to change, and then Roman Reigns came out. So then Roman is now fucking beating the shit out of Adam Pearce, and then Kevin Owens made the save. Now this is Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. So what was the point of all this? Owens counted a Superman punch, and then he hit a stunner. He fought Roman, and all the referees came out. They fought some more, and Owens gave Reigns a pop-up powerbomb to close the show. Overall, the show got Wrestling 7 at best and Logic a 5 at best, so this show was meh. Yeah, so what do you think about that last segment and the show overall?
Well, you can get my full thoughts about the Kevin Owens against the Roman Reigns thing if you go back earlier on the episode and find it there. Look, this show, look, I would never watch this show in full, even if I was paid to. I don't see the point. Nothing about this was really any good. Nothing about this was memorable. Nothing about this really made any sense. There's a reason why I refer to this show as shit down, and this show proves why. Look, about Roman and Kevin, I'll quickly say this now.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I don't like when WWE does this, and they do this basically all the fucking time. Whenever a match is booked for a pay-per-view, they usually have the opponents brawl against each other or wrestle against each other in matches before that pay-per-view match even happens. Like, no, if you're gonna book a match on the pay-per-view, then I don't want to see those two opponents wrestling against each other until the pay-per-view match happens. I don't want to see them fight every week. Just no, stop it. Like I'm losing interest. I'm losing a reason to actually care about the last man standing match because I keep seeing them fight every fucking week. I'm like, okay, are they trying to prove that they're the last man standing now instead of the Rumble? Like, come on. Like, just, oh my god. But yeah, overall SmackDown was shut down. So now let's go over to Raw, which
Raw.
isn't going to be any better.
No, in fact, it's even worse. Oh, jeez. We have Raw, location, date, whatever. Drew McIntyre came out and he cut a promo about how he's feeling well again, how he's going to end this trend of Goldberg beating every champion he's challenged. And then the fucking reality TV wannabe, The Miz and John Morrison came out. I like John Morrison. Just don't like the fact that he's with The Miz doing this sketch comedy. No one finds this funny. It's like, jeez. And there I said they did some goofy comedy. However, Miz cuts good promos, but nobody cares about him. Hold on,
Hey, ho ho, Mrs. Morrison's got to go. Hey, ho ho, Miss Morrison's got to go. Hey, ho ho, Miss Morrison's got to go. Hey, ho ho, Miss Morrison, you've got to go.
Yes. And then Goldberg came out. And I'm like, they were staring down, and Miz and Morrison was like, oh, go, get him. And then Goldberg and Drew McIntyre, by the way, I like that promo that Drew McIntyre cut. It was a good babyface promos. Drew McIntyre cuts really good babyface promos. I don't know. This is a bold statement, but I think Drew McIntyre cuts the best babyface promos out of anyone in the business. Yeah.
Well, he's believable at it because I can actually see him as the face quite clearly. So that is to his advantage. And also, people, Drew McIntyre here has just come back from a 2-week break away from dealing with the COVID-19 virus. So yeah, let's not forget to mention that here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've actually been mentioning COVID because they don't usually mention COVID because they just make like it's not happening. Because they're a bunch of Republicans. Yeah. And I'm like, Drew McIntyre and Goldberg were looking at Miz and Morrison, and then they both arm dragged Miz and Morrison into the ring. They both respectively hit their finishes on the two guys, and I'm like, they're not gonna book Drew McIntyre and Goldberg versus Miz and Morrison, are they? It's like, I hope not. But luckily they didn't. But there was much worse stuff on this to come. So then we're gonna have Charlotte Flair versus Shayna Baszler after the break. So I'm like, okay, I like Shayna. She's very good. She's not being booked to her full potential. And Charlotte's okay at best in the ring. So I gave this a chance. And I'm like, they'll probably shit the bed and make me not like it. And that's exactly what they did. So we came from the break into a backstage interview with Charlotte Flair. I'll tell you this, when she's speaking normally, she sounds okay, but when she's out there really cutting a heel promo, she sounds robotic and phony and scripted. It's like there's no way you can believe what she's saying. And then we went straight into the first match. The half of the women's tag team champions, Charlotte Flair versus Shayna Baszler. So Charlotte Flair came out, and then Shayna Baszler came out with Nia Jax. And then they had their match. It was actually an okay match. They should just let this be it and go on. So then they were having their match, and suddenly Nia Jax came in and leg dropped Charlotte, and that caused a DQ. And it became a whole clusterfuck with all the job women. And I was like, I knew they would fuck this up. How did I know they would shit the bed? This was the only thing on the program that I thought was worth a shit. And I'm like, wrestling 6 and logic 0. And then, guess what they did next? They made this a 6-woman tag with Charlotte, Mandy Rose, and Dana Brooke on the babyface side, and Shayna Baszler, Lacey Evans, and Nia Jax on the heel side. So then the baby faces won by countout, and like this stunk. So wrestling 2, logic 0, and then guess what happened?
They restarted the match because Shayna failed to get in by the referee's count of 10, even though she was basically under the bottom rope at the count of 9.5. So,
and apparently, come to find out, that wasn't supposed to happen. So at least they did something. At least they were doing what they needed to make it finish properly. I couldn't fast forward because it was live. I'm like, it's still going. And then I saw that the heels got hot and wanted Adam Pearce to restart the match. And I was like, I was getting close to shutting this whole thing off, and I should have. And I don't know what's worse, this or AEW. And Nia Jax won the match. And then
look. This match never should have been restarted because this 6-man tag match never should have been made. Oh my god!
Why didn't they just keep it a single match instead of making this whole fiasco? That single match actually would have been good.
Well, that singles match never should have happened either. I mean, fucking, oh my god. Look.
Yeah, I agree with you, but for what it was, it would have been good had they just left it like that. Actually, AEW is much better than this. Not that show is any good, but it's better than this.
And also, I'm going to say this now, right? If you don't get back in the ring at the referee's count of 10, then you have no right to restart the match because the rules are the fucking rules no matter what you want to complain about, bitches.
Oh, okay. Oh.
10 count is a 10 count.
Yeah.
Fucking.
This took me 4 sessions to watch Raw.
Anyway,
we have the second match. Xavier Woods from the New Day versus Slapjack. And you're crazy if you thought I watched 1 second of this. Actually, I did see a second or 2 of this. Woods hit a Shining Wizard for the win, and yeah, that happened. Now we're in the back with Matt Riddle talking to R-Truth. And like, is this what Matt Riddle is up to nowadays? And this is ridiculous. What do you think about this?
Whoa!
Yeah. now we have the Hurt Business. I actually like this group. Um, Consisting of MVP, the United States Champion Bobby Lashley, and Raw Tag Team Champions Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. so, hold on here. So, Shelton Benjamin came out with the rest of the Hurt Business, and he forgot to take off his mask. So, at least they're reminding us to wear our masks when we go outside. But that was funny. That was actually funny. Besides the Edge promo that was cut later that night, this was the best part of the show. The whole program. The commentary, it says that Bobby Lashley will actually be in the Royal Rumble match. He's the U.S. champion, and Josh, you are obviously about to get hot now that you found out about this.
I'll get into that later.
Okay. We're having MVP's VIP lounge now. And MVP cut a promo about how he's excited for the Royal Rumble, especially for Bad Bunny's performance. I think we've talked about that. Have we? We did, yes.
I think we did yesterday.
We did, but I don't know if it's in the actual recording that was recorded before it cut off. I think it may have been. I'm not sure. I'll probably check after we record. He's excited for Bad Bunny's performance and the after party where the Latinas will be. That's what he said. The rest of the Hurt Business talk about how much they appreciate MVP for all he's done for them for the few months that the Hurt Business have been in business. And they give him a gold chain necklace that says THB verbally on it. And it looks nice. I posted a picture on the Discord. And MVP thanked the rest of the Hurt Business. Shelton and Cedric started... what? So, Shelton Benjamin tried to show his appreciation, and then Cedric Alexander interrupted him, and then they started arguing. Then R-Truth came out, and then R-Truth was questioned by MVP about why he's there. Apparently, Truth expected a surprise party from the Hurt Business, but that wasn't the case. And then they were telling him to go away. But then Bobby Lashley invited him into the ring to claim his gift. But then three job guys, Drew Gulak, Humberto Carrillo, and Akira Tozawa, came out and tried to pin him for his 24/7 belt. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, Humberto. Yeah. Oh, your microphone's coming off.
What?
I thought it was coming apart.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but So then they tried to pin him for his 27th title, and then they all started brawling. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Who's mad at who? And why are they fighting? This makes no sense. And then out of nowhere, Matt Riddle came in the ring and gave MVP his final flash knee strike. And now we get an advertisement that Edge will finally be coming back after months of being away due to injury. And then we're back again with Adam Pearce being confronted by R-Truth. He said he wants to prove himself worthy of being in the Money in the Bank ladder match. But then AJ Styles, accompanied by Omos, apparently it's Omos, but I'm still going to call him Omos. He came in and corrected him, saying that Truth wants to get into the Royal Rumble match. So then AJ sarcastically said that he would love to help Truth get into the Royal Rumble. And I'm not knocking Truth, but they're even making main event level stars go with job guys. And then I was like, I knew it. I knew they were gonna book AJ Styles versus R-Truth. And then the third match, Sheamus versus John Morrison. You wanna guess what I did when this match happened?
You gave it the pro kick and you skipped it.
Yeah. So we have Ric Flair and Lacey Evans inside a small room in the backstage area. And then Rick is teaching Lacey Evans how to break some holds. And then Charlotte walks in the room and she's got, what the fuck is going on here? Face on. And they're obviously ripping off that one segment with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon where Triple H was teaching this girl some submission hold, and then Stephanie walked in, was like, what the hell are you doing?
Trish Stratus.
Oh, is it Trish Stratus? Oh, I thought it was just some random job girl in that.
No, it was Trish Stratus.
Okay.
He was bending her over with the arm.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Woof woof. You know.
Yeah. Normally I'd fast forward through this, but I just wanted to see how shitty this is going to be. And I wasn't even mad at this. I just laughed at it. Because what else can you do when you see something like this? No, you can vomit, I guess. That's another thing you can do, but you can also laugh. So then she kicked Charlotte while... No. Charlotte was scolding her dad, and then Lacey Evans from behind punched her from the back of the head, and they just made this phony sound effect like I don't think it really sounds like that when you punch someone in the back of the head. I'm surprised she wasn't bleeding like Beth Phoenix at last year's Royal Rumble. Bianca Belair actually hit her quite hard on the ring post. She was bleeding like crazy from the back of her head. And then Edge said she was a badass for continuing to wrestle. You know, she might have given someone AIDS or HIV or whatever. Yeah. So Charlotte is on the floor selling, and then Lacey Evans kicks her in the face, and then Ric Flair tried to see if she's okay, but then Lacey's like, no, all you do is she'll be fine. Come with me and have some tea and how do you say it, woo, and all that stuff. And Ric Flair was teaching her how to say woo, and yeah, and I stopped there for the time being at the time, and then I tried to finish up. I actually did finish up yesterday a session in the afternoon, and then last night, I actually early this morning, now that I think of it. So now we have the fourth match, AJ Styles versus the 24/7 champion R-Truth. R-Truth is already in the ring, doing his dances, goofy, and he's dancing like a clown. And then AJ Styles comes out with Omos. And then he's beating the living shit out of Truth. And then he Irish whips him into the turnbuckles, and it made quite the sounds when Truth hit the turnbuckles. And then they fought some more, and then AJ gave Truth a nice looking backbreaker, and then fuck up his back. And so then AJ said that he's gonna do this to 29 other men in the Royal Rumble, throw them over the top rope. Instead of Truth being thrown out of the ring, AJ was shot off into the outside, and then AJ got back in the ring and he tripped Truth, and he fell face first into the ring apron. Omos was standing in front of him, and Truth was quite daunted by him. He got back in the ring, and he actually was hitting some of John Cena's moves, and AJ was selling. And now, how's he gonna look when he eventually challenges Drew McIntyre again, or whoever's the WWE champion at that time? People will laugh at him. And I'm not knocking Truth. You can't just be a main event level star and sell for a job guy, and I'm not knocking Truth again. So wrestling 4 at actually 6 at best, logic 0. So now the promo.
Logically speaking here, AJ Styles should be the new 24/7 champion.
Oh, actually, yeah.
Because
it's a whole that whole championship is false count anyway.
And also it's supposed to be defended at any point during the day, during the week, during the month, during the year,
in any
24/7. Basically,
any place at any time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So technically, AJ Styles should be the new 24/7 champion right now, but apparently, hold on. But apparently, this was never officially a 24/7 championship match.
Well, maybe it's in AJ's best interest that he didn't win it, because that would make him look like a joke.
Yeah, but he did though, because he technically did, because in the rules of what this championship is, he technically did. But look, this company picks and chooses when it wants to make championship matches official. Like when they were chasing R-Truth around the ring earlier, right?
Yeah.
Doing that MVP thing, right?
Yeah.
They were technically chasing him in a championship match, because if one of them rolled him up, they would have become the new champion, right?
Yeah.
But here, in an actual fucking match in the ring, oh no, the championship is not on the line here. It's not being defended. Fuck off. Yes, it absolutely should be. In like, hello, logic.
Yeah. Logic, where are you? Yeah. So now the promo that Randy Orton cut last week is aired again. His promo is heavily scripted now that I look back at it. And then we have Alexa's Playground, which Josh called Alexa's Pissing Ground. And he's lucky you didn't have to watch this, because I did. She had a swing set with 2 swings on it. And then there's an invisible man sitting on the other one. Yes, an invisible man. I guess WWE finally signed him from whatever garbage indie promotion he was previously in. And then she showed the clip of her throwing the fireball at Randy Orton 2 weeks ago, and then some clips of her beef with Asuka, who, if you didn't already know, is the Raw Women's Champion. Now, this is making me want to punch my wall. And I actually did punch my wall at the end of Raw. What do you think about this? Or should we save it for the actual Raw Women's Championship match? Okay. So the 5th match on this sea of dog shit is the gauntlet match. If Matt Riddle beats each member, Shelton Benjamin, MVP, and Cedric Alexander, if he goes through all 3 of them, he gets a United States Championship match with Bobby Lashley. So Matt Riddle started off with Shelton Benjamin, and he actually had quite the match. So Shelton almost beat Riddle, but Cedric Alexander distracted the referee, and then the rest of the heels got hot, and MVP told Cedric to do nothing. And you responded to this comment saying that Cedric should be fine with this because he's been doing nothing for the past year or 2. And then Matt Riddle actually pins Shelton Benjamin, and Shelton and Cedric are arguing. And by the way, MVP is the next in the gauntlet. He tried to calm them down, but then Matt Riddle seized the opportunity and tapped him out. I don't know with what move. And now the last guy in the gauntlet is Cedric Alexander, little crumb snatcher that he is. He does this really nice looking drop kick. So Matt Riddle, he gave Cedric Alexander a forearm smash, and then he tried to run the ropes, and then Cedric Alexander followed him and gave him a really good looking drop kick. Heels shouldn't be doing drop kicks, because if a heel does something impressive, the people will cheer, and you shouldn't be cheering a heel. But it will look good. MVP was repeatedly telling Cedric Alexander to focus on the task at hand, and then was saying, I know. So Cedric Alexander is being portrayed like a teenage kid in the hood business, like the what's the word? Like a teenager who always wants to go beyond what their parents tell them to do.
A rebel.
Rebellious. That's the word I'm looking for. So then Riddle finally pins Cedric Alexander to earn his United States Championship match. He's on the stage, and then Bobby Lashley comes out and attacks him from behind and leaves him laying there. So, wrestling, I'll give 7, logic a 7. What do you think about this?
I give this a logic a 0. Fucking 7.
Okay, yeah, maybe I also gave it too high a rating. I just wanted the show to end. So I'll actually change that to a 0. There we go.
Yeah. Look. Matt Riddle beat the Raw Tag Team Champions single-handedly in this match, right?
Both of them.
Yeah. And also, they've been teasing the breakup of the Hurt Business now for
Already?
the past few weeks. Well, that's what they're doing with Cedric, right? They're teasing him leaving them, right?
Yeah, but I don't know why they're doing it now all times. They haven't even been a faction for a year, and they already want to break them up.
Well, they've never really made sense to be a faction anyway.
Well, why don't they do that with Retribution? Because literally nobody cares about them. The wrestlers...
Retribution? They never made sense either.
Yeah.
They never should have... Like, oh my god. Okay.
We don't like them. Some people in the back don't like them. Other wrestlers from AEW and other companies don't like them. Dax actually buried a T-Bar, and he said he's an idiot and he's lucky to be in the business. So I agreed with him there. I never really liked Dominic Dijakovic to begin with. I like Keith Lee more. Where was Keith Lee, by the way? Why wasn't he here? Did they send him back to the Performance Center again?
I don't fucking know. This company can go eat my shit. I actually did like Dominic Dijakovic, but he's dead now.
Yeah,
literally dead. He's dead.
Did you just fart?
No, I was doing the lips, when the Anyway, what was I going to say? And also Matt Riddle is now facing Bobby Lashley for the US title. I mean, championship, for God's sake. The US Championship at the Royal Rumble, right? I don't have a problem with this, except the way they went about Riddle getting this championship opportunity. I feel was bullshit. But anyway, and also Bobby Lashley now has 2 matches. He's in the he was already in the Royal Rumble, and now he's, oh my god, no. Bobby Lashley should only be defending the US title against Matt Riddle. He should not be in the Royal Rumble at the same time later on in that show. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, this could be a foreshadowing here. Bobby Lashley could lose the US Championship, and then he goes into the Rumble saying, okay, now I have to win this Rumble because now I have to move on to the WWE Championship now.
I was thinking about that too, kind of.
Yeah, sure, but no. He's the US, he shouldn't even be in the fucking Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I just whatever. Just move on.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
We're finally gonna hear from Edge, and he's back on Raw. He's talking about his career, how he got it started, and how he got it back. And he also declared that he is gonna be in the Royal Rumble match, and it's a great babyface promo. He sounds legit. He's well spoken, and this was the best thing on the whole show, the whole program. This was so out of place. It belonged on a much better show.
Edge never should have made this promo because he should have returned in the Rumble match itself.
Yeah.
The announcement of Edge coming back and being in it never should have happened. He should have been a surprise return. That's what should have fucking happened. This promo never should have even happened here.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
No, you don't guess that I am right about this.
Yeah. But it was a good promo. It was a very good promo.
I don't care how good it was. It shouldn't have happened.
So now the main event, the Raw Women's Championship match with Asuka, who's the champion, versus Alexa Bliss. Exactly. You know, I could just sit here like this all day at this point. This was embarrassing. Asuka, who's the champion and half of the women's tag team champions, comes out. Her theme song is actually really growing on me. And then Alexa Bliss came out to that stupid Disney Junior CBBS, whatever you want to call it, children's music. You know, the Firefly Funhouse theme song is make me want to tear my eyeballs out. I actually tried to do it, but I couldn't.
This is a friendship that will never ever end, 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 never ever end. I'm sure you get my point.
Yes.
Because it will never ever end. It will never ever end. Fuck's sake.
Okay. Asuka was shaking her head at this, and I don't blame her for this. She even knows that this is complete idiocy. So they were having their match, and then suddenly Alexa Bliss is shown riding on a rocking pony, and then they went to the break. He's looking at the wall. I know he's gonna hit it soon. This made me hit my wall too. They continued. This is ridiculous. They continued having their match, and then Alexa Bliss transformed into a previous gimmick, the goddess. A goddess of what exactly? And then I tweeted. And this is my quote. I've just watched Asuka versus Alexa Bliss from Monday's Raw, and I just want to say that I'm sorry for criticizing Matt Hardy's AEW debut. I'm sorry for criticizing Lady Debonair. It doesn't change my current opinion of those involved in those segments, but this is much worse. And then she tried to get sympathy from Asuka, who was fixing to beat her into a bloody pulp. Then the lights went out, and then again Alexa Bliss transformed into the Fiend, and she was no-selling Asuka's move that she was given because she's supposed to be this invincible entity. And then she gave Alexa, hold on, wait until I finish here. And then she gave Asuka the mandible claw. And then Randy Orton appeared right behind her, and I popped because I want to see this fucking I want to see her get what she deserved, and then she gave her an RKO, and I'm like, yes, thank you. And that closed the Raw. Like, what a complete shit show. What a mess. This smell of this show will never leave my room. I'm pretty sure I had a nightmare about this because it was so bad. I actually did. It was a nightmare. This show overall gets wrestling 2, Logic 0. In fact, Logic gets a minus 100.
Okay, so you're telling me, Kgabo, that in the middle of this match, Alexa Bliss decided to massage her vagina by rocking a pony, right? And then she decided to basically change her fucking gimmick mid-match as well,
Yes.
to being the goddess of piss fuck all, right? and then she decided to revert back to being fucking Firefly Pisshead, right?
Yeah.
And then all of that just to end with Randy Fuckhead coming in and giving her the
RKO.
Yeah.
You want to punch a wall now? No. Oh, jeez. Oh man, that was so.
I'm not going to punch the wall because I don't want to injure my fucking hand. So then Vince can call me injury prone.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Can we just get out of here now?
Yes. Bye-bye, everybody.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. We will see you again on February the 6th for the Royal Rumble review. But until then, this is Kgabinator and Josh Jenkins signing out. Thank you for watching this.
Fuck the Royal Rumble.
Goodbye.